Hey, thanks for joining me today. So, I wanted to get started into a little thing I got myself back into around the first half of December, which was collecting vinyl records. Now, originally, I never had any sort of, I guess, can't say I ever had any fascination with it. Never even used to listen to full albums, to be perfectly honest with you. Before I knew it, things certainly took a little bit of a U-turn. So to give you a bit of history into what started this, back in December, I went across to Germany. I'm very good friends with a band called Haste. Now, I used to feature their band when I used to do a lot of YouTube reaction review videos. Some of you might have seen it, you might not have seen it. All good, either way. So they invited me over. They had some shows coming up, and at the same time, one particular person, very very close to the band, she got in touch with me and asked me if I'd be interested in having the new Haste EP Neon on vinyl, being the fact that it was their debut. Wasn't currently going to be available to be sold anywhere else. This was just purely like as a one-off. It was mainly, I know, for something for the band to have. Might have been something they might put out in future. I do not know yet. So this was that. And it's as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is absolutely beautiful. The artwork, for a start, it's just really, really nice. Great sound from this as well. Now, obviously, before I had actually got the chance to listen to it, I didn't know what it sounded like on vinyl. So I was like, I'm gonna have to get myself a vinyl player. Even just to be able to play just the one. I thought to myself, maybe I'll get one or two others, maybe I won't, but we'll see. Needless to say, that did not happen. I ended up getting a lot more. Now, the vinyl player itself, I ended up getting, after quite a fair bit of research, was the Audio Technica LP70XBT. Now, I did get the Bluetooth model. Now, I just want to make a point. I know there's a hell of a lot of people that say, why on earth would you get a vinyl player that's going to be best going purely down the cable route, but then have one that's Bluetooth? Personally, it was just because I wanted that flexibility in the near future to be able to do that. I've currently used it both ways, to be perfectly honest with you. I can't really tell the difference. But that's how it all started back in December. And I've really enjoyed the whole experience from then. I've kind of become a little bit obsessive, to be perfectly honest with you. It started off with Haste. Then, before you know it, one of my all-time favourites, Limp Bizkit, Significant Other. Absolutely brilliant album. Sounds amazing on vinyl. Then more recently, I got Ghost Seeker, band from Australia. Again, the artwork on this is just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. But I've just literally lost control at this point. Now we have Cold, different kind of pain. Amazing album. That's really got like a big emotional connection there from years ago. One of my prized possessions, I would have to say, that I picked up on eBay was a signed copy of Perseverance by Hatebreed, signed by Jamie Jaster. I did have to get that shipped from the States, and that did cost me quite a fair bit, but it's definitely worth it. And strangely now, I do find myself like, I'm at the age of 40 years old, where at one point, obviously, if you all remember, at the time when our computers got infected with AIDS, when we all used the likes of like LimeWire, Napster. Obviously, a few years later down the line, like things like Spotify came, and I did used to have quite a fair bit of CDs, and I was like, why do I need all these CDs? Like, when I'm paying a monthly subscription, I can listen to whatever I want, whenever I want. And I just got rid of them. But then after, I think more so after getting into vinyl, I've dived into the community a little bit. I'm quite active on Reddit. Whenever I like get anything new, it's cool to put it out there, see what other people have got. Sometimes they might recommend something, or they might even reference the time that they've been to see the band, which is always really cool. But I do find the one thing that I do share with a lot of people in this like vinyl community is the fact that you know, with no matter, you know, you could post your yearly Spotify or YouTube music, you know, look at me, I listen to 100,000 hours of music, but you don't own their music, like yourself personally. You don't own any of that. You're literally just renting it, and that could get pulled at any given point. And it's amazing to have all of these albums to just like, you know, I mean, why would you not want White Pony by Deftones? It's just amazing. And, you know, just to show, you know, I've really gone a little bit crazy here. Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake, that's absolutely brilliant. I think one that was really has to be mentioned is Funeral for a Friend, Tales Don't Tell Themselves. I wouldn't really say it's the best album of theirs, but there's certain songs on there. I think it's because you go back into that emotional connection that you had with songs, and there's something more, what's the word? You just enables you to connect more with it, I think, by having that physical media, I guess, in front of you. And you know, every now and again, I'll have a look through the collection that I have so far. I even like sometimes, you know, I'll just sit here and I'll just watch the record just turning while it's playing, and just even appreciate some of these cool designs that they put on the disc. Now, you know, it's not always black. You get splatter designs, lots of random different colors, and I really like that. That's just something additional, and it's something that even if everything ever goes down, you're always going to have that collection there. Like, that can't be taken away. I mean, obviously, unless there's like house fire or something. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But I'm absolutely loving it so far. But I do find it kind of difficult to, certainly at the start of the month when I've just been paid. Like, for instance, I remember one day, me and my partner Beck, we had a little trip to Manchester, and there was a couple of records I had in mind, and we went to like Vinyl Exchange, Piccadilly Records. What was the other one? It's in Affleck's Palace. Vinyl Resting Place. But it got to the part where I'd picked out what I would say was just a few records. And I was like, I suppose I should tally this up. And before you know it, I mean, it was like almost £300 or something. And then I went and bought like another 4 or 5 like elsewhere. Whether it's like the dopamine hit of like the whole, you know, you buy something new and you get that little initial hit. But I guess it's not like clothes shopping though, is it? It's, as being somebody that's into the heavier side of things, the more alternative scene, I think we see all the hardships that the band have to go through, and getting to have a piece of history that you can keep. There's just something special about it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where my journey goes, like moving forward with, you know, whether it's new equipment, whether it's, you know, some rare finds I might get. The one annoying thing is the fact that there's so many bands that I love, certainly back from like when I started to really get into my music, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. So some of those records are either very hard to find, or you have to wait for them to be reissued, or it's a simple case of going on Discogs and you've got to pay like over the odds for it. But I mean, even just with that one, like, I was so happy when I got that, and I'm just absolutely loving the journey. We'll say, like, you probably see like the background, so you'll see like no record player. People usually put the record player in. I do actually have my turntable set behind me, and then I have all my music come through my Sanyon speakers. I can't remember the model of them. I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. But that works particularly well for me at the moment, which is probably a good thing, because I've seen every time somebody puts up a picture with the speakers on the same unit that they've got the record player on, you just get absolutely crucified. But I guess I just wanted to put a video out to just, you know, just share the love that I've suddenly developed for. I've always had the love of music, but this is sort of like amplified it a million times over. And it's so cool being able to now collect. I don't think I could ever be one of those collectors though that just keeps it in the original seal. Like, why would you want to keep it in the original seal? I mean, I get it. If something's worth a lot of money to somebody, then obviously they're going to want to keep that in its original packaging. Maybe they might want to sell it in years to come. don't know if I could ever be that type of collector, because for me, the experience is in taking that seal off, you know, opening it up for the first time, looking at the crazy color design that they've done with the record itself, and then, you know, reading everything that the band have put, whether it's like a thank you, whether it's reading through the lyrics when you're listening through. It's all about that, the actual physical experience, rather than just pressing play on your computer. Of course, I do still use my go-to is YouTube Music. I don't like watching YouTube videos for a start with ads, so it's just a bonus that we get, obviously, YouTube Music with it. Now, the thing with YouTube Music, I'm not like, oh, I only do vinyl. That's the only thing I'm doing now. I feel dodgy when I say vinyl, because people say, oh, people who are this old, this is why they say vinyl. Not all, but I do feel that I do prefer to listen to music on the actual vinyl records now, compared to, you know, when I always used to use like either Spotify or YouTube Music. But obviously for me now, YouTube Music is more a thing if I don't own that particular album, or if I'm just out and about. Obviously can't take my record player and speakers with me. I just look like a bit of a dope in public. But I'm just loving the journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it takes me. You know, by all means, let me know, how long have you been collecting records? What was the album that first got you started? As I said, I think the next upgrade for me is probably going to be cartridge. The cartridge I currently have on is absolutely fine. For me, the speakers are absolutely fine. But, you know, I'm one of these people that I'm never happy with anything. Like, when I got into cameras, I'll be like, oh, when I get that camera, I'll be fine. I'll be like, oh, no, I want the next one. And then before you know it, I've got a Sony FX3. I think I just have that sort of personality that always wants to have almost the best of what I can, for me personally, depending on, you know, what's right for my budget, basically. But anyone that's, if you're watching this and you're considering getting into collecting records, whether like CD or vinyl, I'd highly recommend it. I mean, I think personally, the one thing that really stood out to me most from when I was going through what I have currently the other day was like, which would you rather have? I love that record as well by Emmure. Look at Yourself. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love it. But this could be the first of many videos to come. I'm not a person currently these days that puts out like video after video, you know, week after week. If something suddenly, you know, if I feel strongly about something that I want to talk about it, which is usually about something that I love, then I'll go ahead and do it. But that's why I'd get this put out today. But do let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Do you disagree with anything I've said? Do let me know. But really would appreciate any likes, subscribe, anyone that subscribes to the channel. Really would appreciate that. But that's not why I'm here to do it. I'm just here to share the things that I love. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.